Now, we kind of come back to that idea about how they were originally doing prescriptions in cyclic versus continuous. And now there is still currently controversy over how to use hormones. You have to realize that this whole hormonal field is very new. When I first went through school, they said, oh, DHEA, yeah, it's the largest hormone made by the adrenal glands. We have no idea what it does. It's like, oh, okay. Of course, over the years, they've had really good information that it does support in terms of our stamina for health, anti-cancer, helping with sense of well-being. In fact, there was one study that I had come across where women who, or people in general, who had a little bit more of that DHEA, which is kind of the counterbalance to cortisol. Everybody hears about cortisol as an adrenal hormone. That's our fight or flight response, and one that we're overstressing with. DHEA, on the other hand, is kind of that, the bills are paid, I'm feeling pretty good, let's be creative, what do you want to do? So that's kind of the DHEA side, whereas the cortisol is like this, oh my goodness, I have so many errands, I don't know what to do next, We have a balance within us on both of those. And the more I watched about things like estrogen and progesterone, the more I learned that postmenopausal, it is very important to look at the balance about things like our cortisol and our DHEA. And of course testosterone that both men and women have, that's very important for bone density and motivation and brain clarity. Well, I've continued to work with the 24-hour urine hormone test. It's a little unwieldy because you do have to collect the urine for an entire day as opposed to just going and getting your blood drawn at that moment. But it is because of the metabolism of the hormones that you can really see the individual metabolism and safety and use. I do not fall in the camp of wanting to have women have their cycles back, so I don't use bioidentical hormones to try to create a period. My concern is that overuse of strong amounts of hormones for an extended period of time, I remember that can be wear and tear from potential cancer. I'm looking for just enough of what I consider a baseline level, that is the baseline for the body to help repair and heal itself for maintenance. So I'm a pretty light-handed prescriber. I would love to be able to do without them, but I find that most of us postmenopausal, we have run our adrenals ragged. They don't usually support us as well as they could. I have had people who have been in the camp where they were using bioidentical hormones and then were told to, or even the Premarin, and then would be told to go off. 5 or 6 years later, they come out, they seek me, they say, well, yes, I was on hormones, and then they took me off, and ever since then, and then they'll have a checklist of all these things that start to develop because the body just doesn't have the spunk that it needs to help repair. So I am looking for the smallest amount possible that is more of what we are using for physiologic repair, kind of like when we're kids. We're really not looking to support pregnancy with hormones anymore. In fact, always an interesting little tidbit that I'll tell patients is we are fortunate as women, as apparently whales, in that we live past menopause. Many other mammals do not live past menopause. So if I need to help it a little bit so that I have extra quality of life and a little bit more fun and longevity, it has moved me a bit into that longevity camp. I'm really not looking at hormones just from a let's get rid of hot flashes mode anymore. I had wonderful and still do tools that help the system to work with those side effect symptoms some women will get, perimenopausal and menopausal. What it turns out I've used the hormone testing and the bioidentical hormones for more and more is for that repair of health and longevity.